How do you speedrun one of the most breakable demos ever made? Gravity Test is pretty tough for new players to beat. However, to speedrun it, or beat it as quickly as humanly possible, is on another level. For the past day and a half, a gamer has been working to lower the world record for Gravity Test. It's been a quest of finding new discoveries and working together to give them the worst names possible. This is the story of that journey. This is the story of Gravity Test World Records. Gravity Test is a very short demo. It takes most people around 2 or 3 minutes to complete the tests, if they're skilled enough. In this parkour game, the gravity shifts quite often with the terrain, making it quite common for the camera to flip in many directions when hitting invisible hitboxes. The players came to name this wormholing. It is but one of the many strategies that make speedrunning Gravity Test such an engaging experience. On the 15th of August 2020, a player named Heaton would become the first notable Gravity Test speedrunner. The journey of the Gravity Test world record is also his journey. The first speedruns for Gravity Test implemented a lot of the important techs without most of the skips that would later be implemented. Nowadays, these speedruns that don't skip through a majority of the game are called checkpoint percent. Let's take a look at an early speedrun to analyze some of the tech being used. A time of 1 minute 12.48 seconds, an impressively fast run, while still filled with minor slowdowns. So let's take a look at how it's done. In the first part of the speedrun, it's all about just optimizing your movement and not doing any unnecessary steps. Here, the player executes a Johnny Bravo. This strategy involves doing a normal wall jump, then flipping in the air and doing a second wall jump off the same wall to gain height. We see this strategy used again right here. The next move is to shove your hog in the space between the wall and the railing to run past it. Here, the player erects a Sonic Adventure but loses control and does a Jet Set Radio instead. The Sonic Adventure is a quick jump off the railing and grind over it to pass the obstacle without slowing down. If you lose control and end up sliding all the way, you do a Jet Set Radio. Here, the player jumps up the normal road, losing a lot of time to hang-ups with the grip system. The most notable slowdown is right here. With enough speed and good execution, you can erect a humongous Johnny Bravo over the void and skip to the last platforming section. Here, Ethan loses control and misses his Johnny Bravo over the glass on the first try. After a final success, he jumps up the last obstacles and onto the finish lines in record time. At this point, it became quite unclear how the record could be brought lower, but after a few hours of grinding, Heaton came back with this. A time of 37.6 seconds. It was mind-blowing at the time. Heaton's new time relied on two new important skips, the BLJ and the Didelidongo. With Koshi's use of the worm-holding technique, it is actually possible to jump from the very beginning of the stage right to the Sonic adventure. This technique is called the BLJ. It is, though, very easy to badly erect the BLJ and to end up doing a run-killing Spiderman 3. The Didelidongo is a bit more complicated of a beast. First, to set it up, you have to perfectly align a jump into the void. Then, by sliding into the corner in the bottom left and releasing the slide at perfect angle, you get slingshotted across the stage into this wall called the beta cuck. You can then pass behind the wall and right onto the finish line. This technique is called a Dixie Kong. Theoretically, it's possible to get sent right onto the finish line with a perfect Didelidongo, but the odds are so small that it's too grueling to attempt. Didelidongo is being extremely hard to nail. It was time for some grinding. And the grind paid off. Heaton pulled off a run with a good Sonic adventure that actually jet set radioed in the good direction. He erected a perfect Didelidongo into a very safe beta cuck. His Dixie Kong was quite slow, but all in all, it was a great run. But he knew he could do even better. His next run had a very strong BLJ, and his Sonic adventure was on point. It was all set up for victory. He just had to get a good Didelidongo. Heaton hit a very unsafe beta cuck. that allowed him to have a super fast Dixie Kong and brought in a world record. It had been a really long fucking day for Heaton. Hours and hours of grinding for a speedrun that nobody but his friends would ever appreciate. But even then, he would never abandon the work. He would never run from the runs. His dedication was infinite. Through all the BLJs, the Johnny Bravos, the Sonic Adventures and the Jet Set Radios, through all the Beta Cucks, the Dixie Kongs, but above all, the Didelidongs, he persevered. He continued running, perfecting his craft. He discovered new skips, new techniques that were less daft. And with a final speedrun, he would finish the Warcraft. Appreciate this, motherfucker. And this is where the gravity test world record stands.